what we've done. Together we are strong and we will carry on. Now tell me what you see, the truth of you and me. We can look into our hearts and see the love we bring. Love is all we are. Let's get together, let's be together. We can reach the stars when we come together. Let's be together. This love for one another, I feel it getting stronger, and we don't have to feel divided any longer.
And even if I just met you today, I feel our connection in a deeper way. Yeah.
Love is all we are. Let's get together, let's be together. We can reach the stars, and when we come together, let's be together. Keyboard loose.
To wake to this new awareness, and we can play in our connectedness, and we see what we all have in common. Ooh,
And it's so fun to realize our dreams and desires are so much more alike than we ever knew. The path we walked before brought us to this open door. And all I know is this new world's full of possibilities. And life is so much more fun than we ever realized it could be. Love is all we are. Let's get together, let's be together. We can reach the stars when we come together. Let's be together.
Love is all we are.
Yeah, love is all we are. Let's get together. Let's be together.
We can reach the stars.
We can reach the stars when we come together. Let's be together. Love is all we are. Let's get together. Let's be together.
Let's be together.
We can reach the stars when we get together.
Come together.
When we come together. Yeah, love is all we are. Let's get together. Let's be together. Oh, we can reach the stars when we come together. We get to be together.
Right here, right now. Sing along with us. The words go like this.
Oh.
That's true. That's the whole words. Oh, we'll start off slow. Oh, just start to feel your body vibrating. That's the pattern. Sing for yourself. Like it's an inner massage. Now sing a little bit more for the celebration of today. It's a day. You're alive. There's so much to be grateful for. One more time.
Get ready, friends, our time has come. The celebration has now begun. What we have going, we'll take it on. This high vibration for everyone. Oh yeah, we've come so far, patient for so long. So now's the time, our wings are dry. We take off, we take flight. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Oh, get ready, friends. Our time's begun. This high vibration has turned us on. So now we're here, our wings are dry. We take off, we take flight. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Oh. I've come a long way from the chilled out, laid back scene, the stand low, sugar down thing, hiding from authority, biding my time, thinking something would be coming for me. But it wasn't until I took the time to see the truth of me that I started to feel more free. And now I know the world is shaped by me. On a natural high, I accept, release, and fly.
I've come a long way from oozing, squeezing dreams, moving from the old to the new scene, throwing out clothes. They said fit, sweet, but never made me feel like me. I'm taking on a new theme, a true me, following all the things I like to do and be. Now I see my soul smiling at me, saying everything is perfect, just the way we planned it to be. Now I can see that every time I ever had a bad ride, hard night, tough fight, the lesson was exactly right. For my growth and my ode to myself, I just wanted to know the experience of living in the human form. A gift, a sacred shift. I can still take the ride, saying hi with all the love and truth inside. But I forgot, thought I was what I was not. And remembering is the dream, is a new scene. I am here to make a change and be the queen of a new theme. Life is fun and we are all one, connected by a web of light. Lines running heart to heart, looking into your eyes. I see your spark, your light, lighting mine. I bow to you and honor your perfect path through life. No judgment, no fight, just awe and love and light. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Wanna take you higher, higher. Where's your part again?
Talk to me before you leave, okay?
Last one.
I wanna take you higher.
Give yourselves a round of applause. That was so fun. Thank you, guys. And now, without further ado, we'd like to introduce the Reverend Dr. Ken Wilcox.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Aren't they amazing? They had a bunch of old white people rapping. I mean, come on. It's pretty damn miraculous, I think. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Reverend Ken Wilcox. You can just call me Ken. You don't have to mess with the doctor stuff. They didn't give me a pad to write prescriptions, so I don't really worry about that. Yeah. So you're very welcome to be here this morning. You know, all life asks and all it requires is the opportunity to appear. That's it. That's it. That's all it's wanting. The opportunity to appear. You're that opportunity, and so am I. It's the purpose of this wonderful teaching of ours to keep us reminded of this truth in our lives. And to help this truth, to help this power, to help this energy show up in our lives in a greater and more dynamic way, all you have to do is one simple thing. That's to leave all your troubles, your would-haves, your could-haves, your should-haves. Leave all that stuff outside. And for the next 45 minutes or so, to open up an avenue of spirit possibilities in your life. And what are spirit possibilities? Well, they're for more love, more joy, more happiness, more great music, more fun, more laughter, more friendship. All those things in life that make us feel alive. Because that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, just a couple of announcements before we get going. Tonight we kick off our circle suppers. If you haven't signed up for those, I think there's probably still time you can do it. And if you talk to Mike Lally, there he is, he probably can get you registered for that. So it's a really fun thing to do. Sam and Lucy also have a workshop they're doing this afternoon. Lucy, you want to tell them about it?
So what we just did, oh, I sound mystical. What we just did, we sang together. We're going to do a singing sessions where we sing together. And then after that, we're going to do a sound bath, a sound healing journey where we play a lot of instruments and you just bliss out and let your body heal, expand, and feel really good.
Wonderful. And what time?
4:30, we start singing. 5:30 starts the sound healing.
Okay. And how much?
It is a love donation.
Wow. Good for y'all. All right. So if you want more information here, if you want more information, there's a flyer outside.
It's going to be here.
Yep.
Right here.
Yes. All right. Let's see if that membership meeting, we're going to have that on the 19th. That's going to be here after service. So I think those are all my announcements. So to get us started, how about another song, guys? Y'all got one?
This is about love. So maybe bring to your mind an image that just lets your heart open to that feeling of love and just enjoy it for a couple of minutes.
Every morning I see beauty in your eyes. Out at sea we watch the clouds and find the world is ours. So won't you come and see the way unfold the story told, the lines undone. It's better when we're one. Time and space cannot define our lives anymore. Lifting off, defying gravity, we know we're free. So won't you come and see the way unfold, the story told, the lines undone. It's better when we're one. Ooh, ooh. Love expanding, every moment feels brand new. Ever after, happily, I'll stay right here with you. So won't you come and see the way unfold, the story told, the lines undone. It's better when we're one. It's better when we're one.
Nice. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Lucy. And to get our service going, let's have a reading and treatment by our wonderful Maureen. Maureen?
Good morning, everyone. How wonderful to see all of you and to be with you. I am so grateful to be here. So the reading this morning is very, very short. It is actually just the introduction to this book. And the book is Everyday Ubuntu, Living Better Together, the African Way. The author is Munji Nyumani. She's the granddaughter of Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And it was a very interesting book. It was on the African Wisdom Summit. I think it was like day 2, and I was just thrilled when I came across it. It wasn't time to get the book, but she went through a lot of it. And Ubuntu basically translates to humanity. And I guess you'd say the cornerstone of this is the philosophy of it is respect. Respect for ourselves and for others and how we live that way. So I'm just reading the introduction, which is very short, and something I think you'll like to contemplate. I am because you are. Let's take that in, yes? Ubuntu is a way of life. and a belief in a universal bond of sharing that connects all humanity. It's also about making a difference in the world and how it's used to support one another and to respect people and how they behave and what they do. And we look beyond anything that we find that isn't what we think is right. Just as in our teaching, we know that at the core we're all perfect in our spiritual beings. And they try to incorporate spiritual tools just as we do to help one another to reach this point in consciousness. So it's also about making a difference in the world, raising the consciousness, getting us to the tipping point sooner. And it's also very interesting to me that there are so many things that are shared just as there are in our teaching, particularly the vision for, to make the world a better place for everyone. So also about making the difference, I like this African proverb, which she quoted also. If you believe that you can't make a difference in the world, just say to yourself, if you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent the night with a mosquito. Stir it up, yes. So, let us take this knowing and this shared belief about our divinity in humanity. As we turn within and allow that love, that limitless love that is within all of us, to carry us forth now. And in this service, knowing that that love, as the Creator is expressing through Reverend Ken and his message, through Sam and Lucy and their music, through David and Ian running our sound, all of the people that worked so hard in this congregation, the board members, our teachers, everyone, and each one of you, because we're all participants in this. This is a participatory congregation and movement and teaching, and I'm so happy to be a part of it with all of you. So let us know this now as we go forth, spreading the love. I let it be, and so it is.
Thank you, Maureen.
So preparing ourselves to just feel this connection. If you know it, sing along. Being, breathing, I release into divine light. Being, breathing, I am open, I am love. Being,
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Lucy. So my talk title today is Holy Days, Holy Days. It's been a really nice week. This past week, we had some really great opportunities to bring in some more income to our center here. With the Mystic Fair yesterday, that went really, really well. People worked really so hard on that. It's a lot of hard work. People were here till 6:30 last night putting this place together. But it was a lot of fun, and it brought new people in here, and I think it gave some people some hope and some encouragement. So that's always a great thing. And as we do them more, we learn how to do them efficiently and better. So it's a good learning process. Also, a second bit of good news we had this week was the African American Church, the Baptists. They are continuing to rent with us, and so they projected out they'll be here for probably another at least 6 more months. So they rent the auditorium on Sunday afternoon. So that was another source of income for us. So that was a really great thing because that helps us out with our budget a great deal. You know, after COVID, most religious organizations worked under the misconceptions that once the pandemic was done, that all communities would come back in full force and things would get back to normal. But that's not the way it worked. It didn't work that way. When we opened back up, it was only about 40% of the congregation came back. And the board was very wise enough to realize that we just couldn't depend on Sunday services alone, that we were going to have to find other income streams to help us maintain this place because we were determined we were going to keep this place open. We were going to keep this beacon of light and hope and inspiration going. So we were going to have to find other ways to support ourselves. It was a challenging environment, but that's what life is. Life is always challenges, always opportunities. So we're very grateful for the mystics and the psychics supporting us. We're very grateful for the Baptists helping support us. And I had to have a laugh this week when I was thinking about my teacher, Kennedy Schultz. If I had told him that at some point I was going to go off and keep a Science of Mind Center running with the help of psychics and Baptists, after he tried to pluck me bald-headed, his head would have spun, I'm sure. But, you know, we have to adjust as best we can. I'm like Scarlett O'Hara and Gone with the Wind. You know, you can call me what you want to, just give me the money to save Tara. That's all I'm interested in. Now, you might not have realized this. You might not have, because we don't promote this a lot. We kind of are on the down low about this. But last week, we celebrated the most holy day of the calendar year for Science of Mind. The most holy day we have. Yes, it's not Ernest Holmes' birthday. It's not when the textbook got printed. It's Groundhog's Day. Yes, that's our most holy day of the year. If it was up to us, we would celebrate Groundhog's Day like Christmas. We would have those big inflatable things outside with a little groundhog peeping up from the hole. We would have groundhog-shaped candies and cakes. We would give out toys, groundhog toys. We would get creative with it. Now, the reason Groundhog's Day is so important to us, particularly the movie with Bill Murray, remember that? Really great movie, and it focuses a lot on what we teach. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same thing, particularly if you're dealing with negativity. If you're dealing with the negative, you're going to get the same thing over and over again, because that's what he did in that movie. Now, Bill Murray in the movie, he was a big reporter at a TV station. He had to go to this little podunk town to do a report on the groundhog. He was very insulted by having to go and have this little rinky-dink town and having to do this little minor story. He thought he was more important than that. And so he went and he was cynical. He insulted everybody that in this little town. It was full of really lovely and nice people, but he didn't bother to get to know any of them. He was too busy insulting them And he was too busy trying to belittle them and belittle the whole notion of Groundhog's Day. Now, there wasn't supposed to be a blizzard to come in, but unexpectedly, this big, huge blizzard came into town. It shut the town down, and he couldn't get out. He had to spend the night there. And he wakes up the next morning, and Sonny and Cher are playing on the radio, "I Got You, Babe." And what he realizes is, after a couple of days of this, is he's stuck. He's stuck in a loop. And every morning, he wakes up at the same time with that radio playing, Sonny and Cher, "I Got You, Babe." At some point, he takes a baseball bat and tries to beat the radio to death. But it doesn't matter, because the next day, he wakes up to it again. Now, at first, he goes on a rampage of excesses. He drinks as much as he can. He eats as much as he can. He does all kind of bad behavior. He breaks into the bank. He sleeps with people. He's doing just all kinds of things. It doesn't help. He still wakes up the next day to Sonny and Cher. Then he decides, well, he just becomes suicidal. At one point, he kidnaps the poor groundhog, and he drives them off a cliff together. They still wake up the next day to Sonny and Cher. Bill Murray, poor guy, he got bitten by the groundhog. I don't blame the groundhog. I would have bit him too. He had to have, special shots for it. So finally, after a long time, and in the movie it's very interesting, they really don't tell you how long he was in this loop. And there are people who have studied this, and they say it might have been as long as 10 years. That he was in this loop day after day after day. Finally, he begins to realize, if I'm stuck here, why don't I try to improve myself? Isn't that a novel idea? So he starts to learn French, and he quotes, he's secretly in love with Annie MacDowell. She's his producer. And so he starts reciting French love poetry to her. He learns how to play the piano. He learns how to do ice sculptures. So he learns how to improve himself. The other thing he does is he begins to get to know the townspeople. And guess what? He falls in love with them. He falls in love with the town, and he then proceeds to try to help them as best he can. Now, there's a very poignant part of the movie where there's a homeless man. He tries to save the homeless man, and he's not able to save him. We're not going to be able to save everybody. But he opens his heart to love, and he opens his heart to Annie, and instead of just trying to have a sexual relationship, he seeks to understand her. He seeks to really have love with her. And so there's one night where instead of trying to make a pass at her, they just talk the night through, and when the clock goes off the next morning, it's not Sonny and Cher. He's broken out of the loop. He realizes through love, he's able to move forward through love, by supporting people around him, by having community, by seeking good, looking for good and seeking good, by trying to be a part of the good. That frees him by looking and being a part of the good. And we have to do that. We have to look for the good in our lives. We have to search for it. The world will happily show you the negative. The world, you just turn the television on. The world will show you the negative. You've got to be a seeker of the positive. A seeker of the positive. This past week, my body had a little surprise for me. It popped up something very, very painful. Just in a very quick way. It popped up something very painful. And so I knew I needed to get some help from it. I called my doctor up, and he said, Ken, he says, look, I got people out the door with the bronchitis and the flu and all of this. He said, I can't get you in. He said, why don't you try one of the virtual doctors? Well, I had never tried a virtual doctor. So I got on my insurance. They have this company they give you to. It's free. You don't have to pay for the visit. I filled out the information. It took me longer to fill out the information than it did to actually get the doctor. Once I had the information to them, I was talking to the doctor within 15 minutes. He was a very smart guy, young guy. I think he was Israeli, and I think he was in Israel. But we had a very nice little friendly conversation. I told him what I needed. He's no problem. He had my pharmacy already. He said, I'll get you the prescription there. Wonderful and nice. And I thought, wow, what an innovation this is. Now, when I was tiny, I remember doctors would come for home visits. But that soon, it didn't take long, that was soon done away with. And isn't this amazing that we've come back to that? That we're now in a place that we're having home visits, but it's been a different innovation of it. Life circles back around, but it always circles back around with an innovation, with a change. It's not going to come back to us as we've originally experienced it. And life is always improving. And if we look for that improvement, we can be a part of it. And if we're a part of it, then we're going to see it and we're going to improve as well. I was so happy about the doctor's visit that I went out, I was talking to my neighbor, and unfortunately she can be sort of a negative person at times. She works in the insurance industry, and I was telling her how wonderful this experience was. I didn't have to pay for it, how nice this was. Well, she just launched on a tirade. That this was the only way we were going to be able to get, any kind of medical care, and it was we were going to have to pay for it. This was just a snowball to disaster. That this was nothing good was going to come out of it. She had taken what was positive and twisted it into something negative. How much better we can all be if we are willing to take the negative and turn it into positive. If we can do that, and sometimes you got to call a prayer partner to do that. First of all, do a treatment for yourself. Do an affirmative prayer for yourself. If that doesn't work, then reach out to somebody who can help you do that. Because until you do that, you've shut down the creative flow of the universe. And when you do that, when you're willing to see as much good in the world as you can, you're in that creative flow. The founder of our teaching, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he says, we exist so the power of the universe might have a unique expression through us. A unique expression through us. So regardless of all my little weirdness and quirks within me, Spirit is hoping to express itself through me, in spite of my weirdness. In fact, I think God delights in our weirdness. I think Spirit is so grateful that when it is able to funnel love through us, when we project love out through us, in spite of all our little strangeness, I think Spirit is delighted in it. And the more that we can express that love, the more we can express that life, the more it becomes power to us, the more we have available to us. Now, this can work in either direction. You can do it through positive, or you can do it through negative. Either way. And if you focus on the negative, the world will give you an ample supply of the negative. Dr. Holmes says every legitimate desire we have is the flowing of this power through us for its own self-expression. God becoming God by means of you, by means of your love, by means of your compassion, by means of your kindness. Spirit becoming Spirit through you, in spite of all the challenges you have. We do our part and Spirit's going to do it. And the more we do, the more we'll be able to recognize. Now, the other part of Groundhog's Day, particularly for this year, the groundhog came up, he saw his shadow, he goes back home. Now, it's interesting. What did he do? He scared his own self. His shadow meant the sun was out. His shadow meant the spring was coming. He scared his own self by good news. His shadow was good news. If he had stuck his head out and hadn't seen his shadow, that would have meant it's a cold and dreary day. And he was planning to get out on that day. Why shouldn't he have gotten out on a sunny and bright day when it would have been nice and warm? He allowed his fears to keep him from enjoying a new opportunity. His fears made him misrepresent his situation. He scared his own self. And what did Dr. Holmes says? He says, we stand in the light of a mighty sun. We cast our own shadows across our possibilities. We're the ones that get in our own way. Our shadows are projections of our fears. Fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. And we project that energy to those false evidence. We make them into scary monsters. You know, in Buddhism, when you leave this life and you're going to your next incarnation, you'll face what they call wrathful demons. And they're scary, they're terrifying, but all they are is our fears blown up, like the big Halloween ornaments. You know, you plug them in and they blow up. Once you unplug them, they deflate to nothing. Once we take our energy away, our fears from our fears, they will deflate to nothing because they were nothing anyway. We're the only ones that gave them energy. We're the only ones that gave them power. And if we will unplug that power, they will deflate to nothing. And we want to make sure our fears as small as they can be because we have whole industries that are focused on our fears, trying to profit from them. The news media, the pharmaceutical industry, the insurance industry, the politicians, spiritual leaders, all trying to profit from our fears. And our fears are nothing but draining life from us. So we want to release them all over to Spirit. Because we're never going to be happy. We're never going to live lives of joy and love and prosperity as long as we're limiting ourselves by our fear. And how do we get past our fears? Well, we want to live enlightened. We want to live in the light. We want to, and enlightenment is not something that just happens to us, that just shows up for us. It's something that comes through us. It's our choice. We choose to be enlightened, and we all have the opportunity to be enlightened. Now, there was one part of the virtual doctor I didn't share with you. He made the prescription for me to get the medicine, and his prescription was for medicine that, let's say, 2.5. So I knew the prescription. I got off to the pharmacy. Something in me told me to call the pharmacy to make sure they had gotten it. Sure, they had it, but they didn't have the right dosage. They only had 2.0. And they were not going to give me 2.0, even though he had asked for more. They weren't going to give me that. I would have just as soon tried to shoot that Chinese balloon out of the sky as to get them to change their mind. They weren't going to do it. So finally, I got the company that represents the doctor. I got them back online. I was talking to them. The people I was working with them, I had several people I was working with, all on this one prescription. They were being as nice and friendly as I could be. I had the pharmacy on the other line. They were telling me a different story. At one point, I was just ready to explode. I was in pain. It was getting late in the evening. This wasn't happening. And boy, the pot was getting ready to boil over. I mean, we were just 3 or 4 seconds away from it. And it hit me how nice and friendly these people were being. And I made the decision, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay nice. I'm going to stay friendly. After all, these women are doing the best they can do. You know, they're doing the best with what they have. So why should I make their job any harder? So I chose to stay in that positive energy. That was a moment of enlightenment. That was a moment of enlightenment. And we all have those. I was reading an interesting scholar. His name is Jonathan Robinson. And he says we have 20 to 30 moments of enlightenment a day. A day. We just have to recognize them, and we have to step into them, and we have to make sure that we're doing our part. He goes around and he talks to a lot of Indian sages, and he's talked to like Mother Teresa, he's talked to Desmond Tutu, so he's talked to a lot of really powerful spiritual healers and teachers. And he says some of these people are able to do amazing things. Some of the Indian sages can just create things from out of nothing right in front of you, and they'll know things about you that you never told them. But he says, after he's gotten to know them, he says, yes, they're really wise, they're really brilliant in a certain area, but in other areas, they're not so wise, they're not so brilliant. He said he was talking to an Indian sage, and he wanted advice about his teenage son, and he asked him about how to handle his teenage son. And the guy told him, says, how do I know? He says, I don't have children. There's no way for me to know this. He said, Mother Teresa, he said, she's a saint. He said, but anybody who ever worked with her on a board to get one of her hospitals built knew that she was a very tough business person. She got those things done. So what that tells us is that we can be awed by people with spiritual gifts, but that we know for ourselves it's available for us too. That right where we are, right as we are, we have the possibility to be enlightened. We can live in light, and we don't have to become all saintly to do it. We, as you are here and now, you have Spirit available to you. When we choose to give up our frustrations, when we choose to do the best we can with what we have, when we choose to live into our potential and not the negativity. And it's not that something happens to us. It's when we choose a better knowing for ourselves, when we choose our idea to live in more compassion, when we choose to see ourselves as God sees us, not as weak, as wounded, but not as victim, but as courageous and dynamic, living in an amazing and wonderful life right where we are. Recognizing every day as a holy day of opportunity to make a more joyful noise. And that joyful noise can include a chorus full of psychics and Baptists, all singing out from their hearts because they might have something to learn from us and we have something to learn from them. And we all together can join in the celestial chorus of heaven, and it won't be complete until all of our voices are singing out from our hearts and souls. We will be there. Dr. Holmes says not one of us will be missing. It's what we've been called to do. We have the power to do it, and let's step up and sing out for our hearts and soul. Let us sing for a new day. Let us sing for a day of compassion and love and joy. Let us sing for a new heaven and a new earth. I hear a song coming on, and now's the day to do it.
When the day is over and the evening sky is bearing in, with the blue to orange fading, there's a subtle smell in the air, tempting and seductive, but there's something greater waiting. That's flying the tool shed by the water away, oh, nothing tricks the echolocation. All along the water there's a sparkle away, oh, signifying the next big one. When the time has come for looking critically at what's around, to find out the pace of this next run, somewhere, somehow, forces draw together, starting now, or has the act already begun? That's flying the tool shed by the water away, oh, nothing tricks the echolocation. All along the water there's a sparkle away, oh, signifying the next big one. Another wild animal seems to bring me down. 'cause they know it's coming, they know how. All the hawks in the sky, perspective from so high, they see how big things are gonna be this time. Was enough for nighttime, time to seal these evening fragrances in a deep blue velvet eye mask. Maybe some of this magic will slip in the door behind me if I don't shut it too fast. And all the wild animals sleeping back, 'cause they know it's coming, they know how. All the hawks in the sky, perspective from so high, they see how big things are gonna be this time. Let's fly into a jet. Let's fly into a jet. Out along the water, there's a sparkle of whale, signifying the next big this time. And I'm wild animals sing about, 'cause they know it's coming, and they know how. All to the sky, perspective from so high, they see how big things are gonna be. They see how big things are gonna be. They see how big things are gonna be this time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Well, now we come to the time we support ourselves, and we support this center because this place is doing great stuff. You can help support us by a couple of different ways. One thing, you can volunteer. That's always a great thing to do. You can support us in consciousness and prayer, seeing us have this auditorium full once again, seeing us having a full kids program, seeing us having a full choir once again. So you can support us in prayer. However you choose to support us, know the Spirit is going to reward you abundantly. So take your offering or your intention and place it over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I joyfully and freely give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. If the ushers step down, please.
So we just wrote this week. Sing along. I think you'll figure it out.
Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home.
you sitting down, looking all around. You feel your heart is everywhere and I can see. Then you look up high, you just caught the light, and you feel something there.
I said, let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. When your trouble's building up and you can't find your way, when the darkness sleeps around the corner, when you lost the light, the trouble's in sight. Oh, I'll just tell you, let your heart be light.
You know it right now.
Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home.
Let's drop out and let's feel it.
Let your heart be light.
Feel it while you sing.
Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home.
You can even feel it in your heart.
Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Lovely. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home.
Oh, great, guys. Thanks so much. Now, if you want more of that, then just be back here at 4:30, right? 4:30. So it'll be a wonderful time. All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for your support. Your support is allowing the center to grow and to thrive, to continue being that beacon of love, light, and inspiration that we know it to be. So we thank you. We bless it. We release it, knowing it does its good and powerful work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. All right, well, let's close the service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person, but take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, hold tight to it. If I say something that doesn't work for you, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me today. That celestial music is opening the doors of heaven, and this is what I know. I know there is only one God and one mind and one power. That power is perfect love, is divine intelligence. And that power is calling me on. It has called me from stardust so I could walk the soul of St. Augustine. And it is not done with me yet. It has grand new vistas and possibilities to see. What I may see as challenges, Spirit sees as opportunities. Opportunities to know me, myself as Spirit knows me, as powerful, bold, and dynamic. So here today, surrounded by all these wonderful, loving souls, I now choose to let go of every limiting belief, every idea of victimhood, lack, and limitation. Those are small ideas, and I've played with them long enough. Here now, I choose to see myself as God sees me, bold and dynamic, courageous and kind, compassionate, moving out into the world, making the world a better place by my decision to make it so. by my decision to see myself and to be what God is calling to me to be. And so here today, I'm leaving this place inspired. I'm leaving this place encouraged. I have lifted my eyes up and I see a new possibility raining down upon me. Spirit has opened the storehouses of heaven, and here today I dwell in a new heaven, a new earth, a new Jerusalem, and I am not turning back. I see the bright new day of God's possibilities, and I am on the move. This is my truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. This is Reverend Ken. Until we see each other again, many blessings.
Sing it with us again, y'all. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be
Let
light.
love guide you home. Let it lead the way. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light.
Let your heart be light. You can love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love guide you home. Let your heart be light. Let your heart be light. Let love